Hello, good evening, Jai Shri Mataji. We're here in Mother's Castle in Cabela, and it's a great privilege to be asked to organize the UK meditation this evening. But before we start meditating, we'd like to maybe talk a little bit about what meditation means. Is it something that we do, or is it a state we find ourselves in? So I've asked a couple of people to share their experiences this evening. I remember one occasion I had when we were doing a program at my house, and people were coming round. It was Christmas time, and I was making paper chains, and all the people from the collective came, and they all started making paper chains as well. And it was a really, really nice meditation, a very nice meditative mood, because we were all doing things with our hands, working together. And we just spontaneously went into very deep meditation without any mantras or anything at all. It was a lovely experience. And also here at the castle, I had the privilege to be in charge of weeding the rose beds for Manuel, who's sitting next to me here. It was a fantastic experience, because you're not thinking, you're just working very simply with your hands, and the meditative state just comes naturally. So let's talk a little bit about this before we go into the meditation, and we're going to see some more videos like this first one, which was from the puja of Makar Sankranti, which we performed on Saturday. I think we have someone from Switzerland who was a volunteer from at the castle. When was he here, Pranav?
During last summer, yes.
Okay, so Pranav, can you show yourself and tell us something about your meditative experience working in the castle?
Yes, hello. Jai Shri Mataji.
Hi, can we see you?
Yes, sure. So 1 second. Hello, everyone. Jai Shri Mataji again. Thank you for asking me to share my experience as a volunteer in the castle. So, of course, it was a great moment, a great one month and a half I had during last summer in Cabela as a volunteer in the castle, which, of course, we hear stories about how it can help us, how much it can also be a workout for all of us within, being there with all the Sahaj Yogis in the ashram and meditating there directly in the abode that is the castle of Shri Mataji. But also I really felt the big difference in my meditation, of course, while being there, but also when coming back to, let's say, a normal life in Switzerland, where I could really see the difference as black and white, as to what spending my time as a volunteer there really brought to me. So it was, of course, when we are volunteering over there and staying in the castle, we are meditating collectively every morning, every evening. We are always constantly with other yogis and the vibrations of Cabela and the vibrations of the castle. So it has definitely changed, let's say, something within me, especially, where we are always constantly, our attention is in the present moment, whatever task, also during the meditation, also when communicating with others. Our attention is always constantly on the present moment without us doing anything. It quite just happens kind of automatically once we're being there, where it really shows how much of an instrument we become when we volunteer over there. But coming back to Switzerland after being a volunteer, I really saw how it had affected me and brought a lot to me in my meditations, because it was just so easy to go into meditation, even though I was going from heaven, that was Cabela, to hell, that is Switzerland, if I can say so. So yeah, really, it was really such a strong base of peace and serenity that was that had been built within me during my stay as a volunteer in Cabela. Also, I could go into meditation with so much ease. My attention also was just so much more in the present moment, constantly on Mother, which also helped me with all the other Sahaj-related activities in Switzerland. So I don't know if this...
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pranav.
So we're going to ask Emmanuel now, who is responsible for the castle, to say something about this topic of meditation.
Yeah, I think after what Pranav said, it was such a beautiful sharing that I have not really something to add on the top, just to confirm what he said. Coming here and be a volunteer in castle, giving his time, of course, it's an engagement of work, but I would say it's really an internal work, and it's helped us a lot to go more deeper and deeper in our understanding of our self-realization, in our meditation, in our connection with Sri Mataji. So I will take also the opportunity to really welcome everyone for the coming year.
When should they come? When is there the need?
So no, the first need, the big first need will be, I would say, in April before May, because of course in May Cabela will have Sahasrara Puja. So we can say beginning of April, it will be a good date, because we have to start to build in a camp, putting the tent, and start to open everything. So mainly this is of course more a work for men, but also all the sisters and ladies are most welcome to come and to help, because also in a castle, in a garden, some jobs start to have to be done. So yeah, but for the camp, the building of the camp mainly for men. So if you want to start to come, please enter in contact with us and send your request, and we'll be very, very happy to welcome you here as a volunteer and be part of the, you can say, fixed team who is here every day, because without you, it's not the same, and we cannot do all the job without you. So.
How do you keep in the center? How do you manage to meditate and be calm with all the responsibility you have?
No, it's not. I don't know. I just meditate like everyone. Wake up in morning meditation, evening meditation, like Pranav said, it is the only key of that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji.
So we're going to start our meditation. I had this idea during the puja on Saturday to video a 10-minute moment at the end of the puja when there was complete silence and no movement of anything. And of course, it didn't happen. There's children, there's always something going on. And it reminded me of a very powerful experience I had one Guru Puja when there were a lot of people there. We were sitting outside, and from outside, it was possible to see that people inside the hangar were in deep meditation, but outside it wasn't quite so focused. There was movement. There were a couple of people had dogs. There were children moving about, people walking, etc. And it was a bit irritating for me not to be able to be in the same situation as people who were actually inside the temple. And then a very, very beautiful bhajan started playing, and the vibrations from that bhajan just started spreading out from the hangar like a soap bubble. And wherever the soap bubble touched, people just spontaneously fell into silence. The dogs settled down, the children sat down, people stopped talking, stopped moving about, and spontaneously went into a deep meditation. So what we've done is to put this bhajan over the images of the meditation after the puja on Saturday. So before we see that, let's just all settle down And together we can slowly raise our kundalinis. And let's say just one time together Sri Ganesha's mantra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Sri Ganesha Sakshat Sri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. So we keep our attention on Sastara and we can meditate listening to this beautiful bhajan and watching the video.
Shariram surupam sadarotmuktam tasacharuchitram vanam merutulyam manasena lagnam gururam vipatne tatakim Shri Mataji, Shri Mataji, Shri Mataji, Shri Mataji. Manam putra pautradi sarvam Gruham Pandava sarvamekadvijatam Manasena lagnam gururam vipatne Tatakim, 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 tatakim Shri Mataji Shri Mataji, Shri Mataji, Shri Mataji. Shadadidevo Mukhe Shastra Vidya Adhikarigadyam Subhadyam Karoti
So we'll just sit in quiet meditation for a few minutes before we listen to Mother's talk. So we're going to listen to an extract from Mother's talk of Guru Puja 2001.
Now your job is to give them self-realization and change the people. That's the real thing you have to do as gurus. But what are we doing? We come to Sahaja Yoga with what idea? We are working only on the periphery. Firstly, we are worried about ourselves. How we can prosper, how can we become better off. Also there is greed. We do not see ourselves. If we are aggressive, if we are trying to trouble others, if we have wrong idea about ourselves, how we torture others. So first of all, you have to cleanse yourself and accept your own problems, your own misgivings. These are to be faced and challenge yourself. What are you doing? You are a Sahaja. How can you hate someone? How can you trouble someone? How can you torture someone? This is the beginning of introspection. It's very important. I can make out a person who meditates in the real sense of the word and the one who just meditates. You should not deceive yourself. If you are deceiving yourself, then how can you become a guru? For becoming a guru, you have to first of all be very honest within yourself and find out what are you doing, what are you up to, what have you done. We have 6 enemies, as I have told you. And we justify all these enemies. We think it is all right. After all, I did this because of this. I had to do it. Somebody would say I was poor, so I had to be dishonest. Another would say that I had to tell lies. Another would say that I had to be immoral. This is the biggest thing human beings have, is justification. Animals don't have. They have their fixed ideas. They have their fixed nature. But human beings can do all kinds of wrong things and can justify. This justification doesn't help you in your ascent. I did this because of that. It never helps you. One should try to introspect and see for yourself what is the justification. So when you start supporting yourself in doing all kinds of opposite things, how can you rise? How can you ascend? All the time you are trying to descend. So purification within is only possible if you can see yourself clearly. If you can't see, how will you purify? If I can't see in the mirror, how will you see what's wrong with my face? So when you start seeing the truth and comparing yourself with that, then only you can clear out yourself. But the identification should be with the truth. For example, you see in the mirror your face and you find something wrong. You are not identified with that wrong, but you are identified with your own face. And so you clear it out, cleanse it out. In the same way, if you are identified with yourself, you cannot get rid of it. When you are climbing ahead into the new path of righteousness, of goodness, of compassion and love, you should see yourself, watch yourself. What are you doing? Where are you going? How far you are stooping? You should not cheat yourself. Let others cheat you. Let others do whatever they like. Let others try to kill you, but don't you kill yourself. You don't cheat yourself. So you have your self-respect and you have your self-honor, which you value more than anybody else. And you don't yield to anything that will spoil your image in the mirror. This is the first step is of introspection. Now what helps for this introspection is your sense of love. Can you love a person who is distressful, one who is aggressive, one who is hot-tempered, one who cheats you? Can you love such a person? You cannot. Then, how can you love yourself when you have these qualities? When you do this to yourself? So the first thing is the pure love for yourself. Pure love. It's such a great thing to have pure love. Like you may like to have a very nice bed to sleep. You may like to have a very beautiful house. You may like to have all the wealth of the world. But all this, will it make you love yourself? If you love yourself, you don't want anything. Because you enjoy yourself. To enjoy yourself is the greatest enjoyment. So now you have got self-realization. Means you know what you are. You know what beautiful thing you are. When that is so, you should try to love yourself. And when you start loving yourself, you are not bothered about all nonsensical things. Now, this pure love is one of the most beautiful things you have, which you can do to yourself. When you are selfish, you are not loving yourself. When you are unkind, you are not loving yourself. When you are aggressive, you are not loving yourself. Because you are loving all these bad things. But yourself is pure. It's absolutely pure and beautiful. And it loves all that is beautiful and good. So this is the beginning of your self-realization. When you realize how important is yourself, you don't have wrong ideas about yourself. You don't justify all the wrong things you do. Because you understand that is a blemish on yourself. Face yourself in the most honest manner. And you'll be amazed to see how nice it is just to see the pure self shining within you. When that self starts shining, you start seeing many other things which you have not seen so far. And one of them you see is that love is not only for yourself, but for everyone. It's a pure love for everyone else. It's not only for yourself. It's very surprising. When you really love yourself, then your love is for yourself. And you start spreading that love in such a manner that you beautifully love others. You don't love for money. You don't love for some advantage, for some power, or for some gain, but you love for love. Because pure love is so joy-giving. It's so joy-giving that if there is any such thing that I love somebody because I want to possess that person, because I am something great, and if I love somebody, then that person should feel absolutely obliged. All these ideas are absolutely of no avail. Really, if you love, then you just love. You love everyone. You may say, Mother, how can you love a crook? Need not go his way. Need not be with him. Need not have anything to do with it. But if you have pure love, then he can change, she can change. If they do not, then you don't bother. Those who come into the ocean of love Those who are really pure, loving people, they are your friends. They are the ones who are needed on this earth. Not the people who are crooks, who cheat you, who try to dominate you. They are not the ones needed. What we need are the people who are completely drenched into the purity of love. So from love we go to another point, which is purity. And the purity is a subject which has been talked about by many people, that you should be pure, you should be absolutely open, and people should know everything about you. I don't think that is purity. Purity is that which purifies others. If you are a pure person, then others will be purified. They have to be purified. Now, supposing you have certain ideas about yourself, you think that you are very highly placed as a Sahajogi and that you are full of love. Maybe it's all imaginary. Does it purify others? Does your purity purify others? Can it give them awakening? Can they be realized souls? And then how much do you value the purity, the power of purity, and how many people you give realization? Or you have kept it to yourself? How many places you have been to spread this purity? Purity has to be spread. And without any doubt in your own purity, you should do it because it's a very, very powerful thing. Purity is very powerful. It may not act on one or two persons, doesn't matter. There could be some very, very nasty, horrible fellows, doesn't matter. But it will have an effect on very many sensitive persons who want to become Sahajogis. You have to just test it, how people like you and how they are impressed by you. The Param Chaitanya, this all-pervading power of divine love, flows through you because you are pure. If you are impure, then it will stop at different chakras. It won't work. So purity of temperament, purity of love. What does that mean? That you love somebody because that person has got spirituality. You love that person because there is purity. And you go to places just to spread the purity among people. A pure person will never create a problem. It's the impure person who every day can start with this problem or that problem and that. So the character of a yogi is to worship the purity of your own and the purity of others. It's true that we have to face ourselves every day. It's true we have to correct ourselves every day. It's true that we have to separate ourselves from ourselves to see how far we have done, how far we have gone. What are we doing? What have we done? So the difference between the ancient times Guru and modern times Guru is that the ancient time Gurus didn't care if they gave realizations to people. It was not their style, most of them. Only they cared for themselves nicely sitting down somewhere in the Himalayas, away from all the madding crowd and enjoying themselves. But you must share this enjoyment. I think that is the sign of a good Guru.
So let's close our meditation by saying the last of the three great mantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradaini Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. We can namaskar, do Kundalini and Bandha. So we have to stop the meditation now because it's actually snowing quite heavily in Cabela. Maybe Manuel can take the camera outside and show the lovely view. So we leave you from Kabela. Hope you've enjoyed the meditation tonight, and we're going to show one more video from Makar Sankranti Puja, which is an Italian song called The Light is Within You.